Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the A-Gap podcast. Thank you guys for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon / evening, no matter where you're tuning in from. We're glad to have you. Everybody on Twitch, everybody on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Gentlemen,
Thank you, Connor, for being here.
We appreciate you, Connor. Hey, Snow Day Origami was no match for the Giants.
No
like you
way.
said, 9 Ks over 6 innings pitches. Not enough. Not enough.
Not enough.
Not 0 for 3 at the dish.
And,
yeah.
Oh. Yep. He got destroyed on the plate today.
What an
idiot. He's nothing, dude. Nothing. So I'm sure you guys have noticed there are only 3 of us here today. Unfortunately, John Dog, our good buddy, is, now that we're an international podcast, we have so much money that he decided to go wine tasting in Napa. So he's enjoying the finer things in life today, but he will be here, I'm sure, with us next week. So we can't wait for his return. Gentlemen, how you guys doing? How was your week?
Oh, well, I will go. Yeah, I actually came up to your guys' neck of the woods. Severe heat wave. It was 108 degrees at a wedding that I was in, and it was miserable. We had a good time though. 103 on the wedding Saturday, so it was it's pretty brutal. It was probably the worst possible time to come visit, but it was good to be back. You know.
You had a great time though, right? I hope you had a great time.
It was a great time. It was a great time.
That's what matters.
Shout out to Tommy Young. Probably not listening, but we love you. Congrats on your marriage.
Congrats, Tommy.
Congrats, dude.
Beautiful wedding. Well executed. Great time. How's the heat now? Has it died down a little bit?
Yes, it's died down. Since you left town, it got way less hot.
That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Well, how you guys doing?
Doing good, man. I've just been so obsessed with some NBA playoffs, which I know we're going to touch on right away.
Dude, let's just dive into it. Why not?
Whoa. Before we dive into it,
yes,
I want to ask about the desserts with Tom.
So I have been dropping down on the desserts, not as much, but I'm still. So I was down to 225. I've been 2 weeks in a row now at 227. So I've kind of plateaued.
It's not bad.
And I found not bad. But what I started to do behind me, I've been doing the weights. TJ gave me this like workout he does. That's like a real quick couple of reps here or there.
Oh hell yeah!
So I'm getting strong arms, but I'm not doing any cardio yet.
So it's 2 pounds of pure muscle.
Yeah, it's 2 pounds of pure muscle, exactly.
Absolutely.
So at any point, I can hit that booster, actually use the rowing machine that never gets used, and I'll lose tons of pounds. So many pounds, you know?
Well, I, for one, had a giant cone. I went to sushi last night, and I was feeling pretty good. It was like a light meal, no big deal. But then
and you ate a big
boom,
dessert.
Cold Stone Creamery, just right in my face.
What'd you get?
And Kayla looks at me, and I'm like, fine, like twist my arm. And got the birthday cake premix. It's like cake batter ice cream with sprinkles and brownie and like fucking chocolate sauce on it in a waffle cone. And I am pleased to announce I have type 2 diabetes now. So it's not going as good for me.
You left the store and you're like, yep, there it is. Type 2. It feels like it.
Like, I feel like I need some insulin, I think.
Yeah, they just hand out insulin on the way out. Like, here you go.
Like, hey, if you get a Love It size, you get a free shot of insulin with your ice cream.
Did you say what size you got? Did you get the Like It, Love
Dude,
It?
I was gonna say.
Oh God,
like when they asked like what size, and you know you're like the medium. They're
like give me the medium.
What the what? And you're like the Like It. It's one of those places where I just refuse. I'm not saying your size names. They embarrass me.
Do you do the same thing at Starbucks? Do you refuse to say Grande, Venti, Trente? You're like, give me an extra large tea.
Yeah.
You're that guy?
Yeah.
Damn.
Really stick it to Starbucks. And at Starbucks, they always correct you. You're like, oh, a medium. They're like, oh, a grande.
You're like, sure.
Yeah, a medium.
Yeah, whatever,
Starbucks guy.
I guess I'll speak your weird language, Mr. Corporate America.
Give me my double frap, okay?
Connor is saying that we should all look into keto, like we've never heard of it before. So, you know, if you guys want to just eat meats.
What's keto, dude?
Yeah, what's keto? Never heard of it, bro.
I just love carbs, though, dude. Carbs are...
Yeah. Carbs and dairy, because keto's no dairy, right? Or like no sugar?
No, it's just high fat, moderate protein,
It's
low carb.
it's basically the Atkins diet, essentially. It's like the modern day Atkins diet is what it sounds like.
I've actually done keto a few times, and it's pretty nice on the mental, but it's tough.
It's hard on you.
Yeah, that
It's
sounds
very
hard.
tough, yeah.
It sounds
But
tough.
it's nice. It's a
Talking
good
about
diet.
The Geno Atkins diet.
Yeah,
Defensive
there you
tackle
go.
for the Jets.
Well, all right. If I could be
And
a
I'm
real, if I could be a real media member here. Speaking of shaving weight, the NBA playoffs have shaved quite a few teams. A lot of teams went home last week. Obviously, we've had a lot of great games even the last couple days. But what have you guys been? What have you guys been thinking about? Who left? Who's around? What are you guys' thoughts?
I feel like I watched in its entirety the Game 7 between the Nets and the Bucks, and I cannot remember the last time that I watched such a good basketball game.
Yep.
Just like it was just it, especially at the end. Of course, now they've got like I think NFL did it last year. We've got the focal length camera where it's just the superstar player and everything else is blurred in the background. So like the hero shot.
Oh yeah.
Just the end of that game when it's like Kevin Durant's coming out from the huddle to go in for, whatever amount of seconds left to win the game. And I remember when he shot the shot that was not a three. When he shot it, the beginning of that play, I said, he's going to shoot a three. They're going to win the game.
Yep.
That's what superstars do in this situation. I've seen it enough times in the playoffs. And he shot it, and I thought it was a three. I was just amazed. I thought I can't believe he pulled it off. Man's feet are just a little bit too long, man. That is unreal. One hell of a game, though. I could talk forever about that game. So what do you guys think, though?
I mean, is Kevin Durant washed because he doesn't know where the 3-point line is now? I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. He's incredible. I'm right there with you. When he hit that shot, I thought it was a three, and I think Camille was like watching a show on the TV, and I had it like on my iPad, and I was like, oh my fucking God, like he hit it. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Kevin Durant is incredible. Like explained the whole, fully mansplained sports to her, like specifically basketball in that moment. So hand up, my bad. But it was incredible game.
It looked like a three.
It looked like a three. And it was such a like classic Kevin Durant, like pull up, guy in his face, fading backwards, drained it. Like you almost knew he was going to hit it. That's why when he didn't hit the second shot, it was like, wait, the game's over? Wait, hold on. No. Like not like this.
I'm not a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fan, but I got sent a lot of. There was in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, one of the characters. Has
Carlton.
where he shoots like a half-court shot where everyone thinks it's going in, and the meme is just Kevin Durant's face and his face next to each other because they basically airballed the same way. Just as trap. Google that one, Matt. If you haven't seen that one yet,
it was a good freeze for him.
It was Katie's face.
Can we back up? You don't like the show?
I have not really watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in my life.
Ever?
So you haven't really watched it. You just don't, but you don't like it.
No, I didn't say I didn't like it. I didn't say I didn't like it. I said I hadn't watched it. So therefore, I don't like the references because I don't get them until people show me the references. I've just seen Will Smith in an empty house. I've seen that meme.
That meme, yeah.
Seen all the memes, but that's about it. I haven't really delved into it. Wasn't part
never was just on. You get home from school, 2 p.m., turn on like WGN or something.
No,
nothing like that.
No.
I remember. Yeah, you come home, you catch like the last 2 innings of a Cubs game, and then it's just Fresh Prince of, and it's like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reruns for the rest of the night.
No, I didn't. Not really into WGN. I was more like I was like watching whatever the ABC lineup was after school. I was watching Recess.
Oh, you were a Disney kid, dude. Gross.
I've always been a Disney kid.
Nickelodeon stands in the chat.
Yeah.
I still
stand
was a
up,
Nickelodeon
stand
guy,
up.
but never like a Cartoon Network. I wasn't even allowed to watch when I was growing up. Too racist.
Young Long says, this fool didn't watch Nick at Night.
Dude,
I watched Nick at Night. So I Love Lucy. I was all about that, Back in the day, that's what Nick at Night was.
No, we're talking Real News with Linda Ellerby, dude.
Oh my God. Wearing the Chucks, the red Chucks.
Yeah,
dude. Linda Ellerby.
Oh yeah. That was like Keenan and Kel, all that. Like that was the Nick at Night lineup.
Nick at Night when we watched.
No.
It wasn't Nick at Night when we watched.
You're thinking of Snick.
Lineup.
Oh, I
Snick
am
was
thinking of Snick. Yes.
Yeah. Nick at Night had like Full House. It had the Cosby Show.
Cosby Show.
It
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
It probably doesn't anymore. It had The Fresh Prince. It had all that stuff.
See, maybe I watched it when I was a lot younger, but when I watched it, it was like really old shows, like Gilligan's Island and I Love Lucy and Bewitched was on Nick at Night when I remember being a pretty young child. So I watched those shows. So.
All right.
But yeah, I know
Well,
it's,
well
I
if
know
you
it's a
have
wonderful
any
show that
sick
everyone loves.
Bewitched references, let us know.
Yeah, no, that probably won't happen.
Just wiggle your nose, I think. That's the only one that I know of, yeah. All right, well, I guess...
Just magical massaging is the only thing I'd say.
That also works for Sabrina the Teenage Witch, so... all right, speaking of weird, dark magic shit, this is going to be a weird segue, but... Ben, let's see where this one goes. Yeah, let's see where this one goes. I was going to bring it back to Ben Simmons and his poor performances in the fourth quarter. We touched on this last time, but now the 76ers are gone, and it's like a lot of people are putting it on Ben Simmons. He's getting a lot of bad press, which I sympathize a little bit for the guy. Like, granted, yes, it looks like he's afraid to shoot the ball, but when you have an entire fan base telling you to basically, like, KYS, like... Jesus, man. Like, no wonder his mental game is so fucked. So, obviously, the big talk right now, is he going to be moved? Is the process dead? So, I'm just going to throw it out there like this. I feel like everyone's talked about the end of that game for a while. Where do you guys think Ben Simmons could end up if he goes somewhere else? Where would you like to see him go as well? Kongs? Sacramento Kongs?
Maybe, dude. I don't know. I've been floating that idea since...
Uh-oh. Tom, I think you just muted yourself on accident there, bud.
Am I unmuted?
No, you're good. You're good now.
All right. I hit enter on accident. Yeah, I would love the Kings to have a talented 3-time All-Star, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. You know?
Absolutely.
Obviously, he can't shoot. Ben Missins.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
It's growing
Richard,
legs.
If you're not going to allow it, just say it. If you're not going to allow it, just don't allow it.
More like Richard Simmons, am I right?
Hey!
Got him. Is he going to Golden State?
Useless. Maybe.
That could be a move.
What's he worth? Because he's obviously, like, if he learns to shoot at all, he's going to be like a great player.
Well, go for
and there's a lot of, he's like, how old is he? 23?
24.
24.
24. I feel like, though, that right now, obviously, his value is an all-time low because of what the entire basketball world just watched. But I don't feel that as the off season goes on and offers start coming in, because every team is gonna try and like, hey, what about Buddy Hield and the number 9 pick? Come on, like every team's gonna have some trash offer.
We'll do Buddy Hield straight up.
Yeah. See, I mean, you could make the argument that'd be better for the 76ers, but we're not gonna talk about that because it's probably not gonna happen. He's a 3-time All-Star, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year runner-up, I think, but he has proven his ability. He averaged 18 points a game this season. So everyone's like, oh, he didn't shoot it. It's like, yeah, he averaged 18 points this season. So something was obviously off, and it's not like that's what you're going to get every single time.
Well, the problem is you also have to not only trade for somebody's potential, but you also have to rebuild them mentally. Like, he is a mentally
100%.
shattered person right now.
Yep.
Kind of like
100%.
how Markelle Fultz was a couple years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to bring up.
Is that?
But
do the Philly fans ruin people?
Yeah, I think that's a common theme.
I think they do.
No, they're a very soft fan base. They don't do that.
Very nurturing fan base, very patient.
They have a lot of patience.
It's like local anarchy and lighting cars on fire when they win.
Yeah.
Gotta grease up those light poles. Here we go.
But like, even having was it Embiid said something, not directly, but kind of an indirect, like,
he said if we had hit some open looks late in the game, then I think this would have had a different result. He said something like that.
Yeah.
And then the coach Doc was asked, do you think Ben can be a all-star point guard? And he said, at this juncture, I could not say.
I think, and then he also said something about, like, could you see him on being the point guard of a championship team?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
He said, I can't answer that question at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Which
crazy.
is tough.
Like, when your
that's
coach...
all real. That's all real things to say. You agree with them. But yikes.
It's a tough look. I mean, it's. I don't know how somebody from that bounces back being on that same team.
Right.
Like, when you see that your support system is falling apart, like, he probably now wants to get out. And Markelle Fultz is now a better shooter that he's left the 76ers. So it's maybe he
True.
just needs to get with the right coach.
I saw
24. He's 24.
I saw an article
Time.
that recommended if they do like a straight up with Portland for CJ McCollum.
Ooh, that would
Even
be
that's
interesting.
not a bad idea. Yeah, I could see that because that's Dame's got all the shooting in the world, but obviously Ben Simmons would be so much better at defense.
It seems
So much
like
better.
both fan bases are kind of mutually over the respective players. Like,
Yep.
they do a swap.
What's the meme where you got two guys holding hands from Predator and it's Carson Wentz and it's Ben Simmons and it's like getting the fuck out of Philly. You know,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
meme.
yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
nobody wants us here. You know, high five. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's getting a tough rap. I think it would be fun to see him on the Kings too, just to bring that back around.
Oh
But
hell yeah!
it would be
I'll
fun.
tell
I
you.
mean,
Why not?
like Buddy
Young and
straight up
talented.
because Halliburton can shoot the rock. Fox has now developed a three. They just need somebody like Harrison Barnes and Fox are the only two people that drive and get to the hole. You add somebody like Simmons, that's basically his entire game. You're gonna get a whole new dynamic. However, I saw a funny tweet. I think it was it's like Sacktown Giraffe, something like that. Shout out to him, but. He said, "Can't wait for Ben Simmons to be on the Kings and Luke Walton to use him as a 3-point threat."
That would be the move.
Yeah.
We're gonna fix him. We're
Exactly.
gonna fix his 3-point game. That'll be our first priority.
Yeah, exactly. Just
I
use
think
him as a threat around the
regardless
perimeter.
what Ben Simmons does, is that motherfucker better be shooting 100 free throws a day,
Yep.
every single day, whether he gets traded or not. I feel like the free throws at a baseline. I think he knows how to lay it up. He knows how to dunk it. It was just he was all over the place.
I will just never understand how somebody that's been holding a basketball since before they were 10 can't shoot at least like 70%. Seems low.
Yeah.
From the free throw line, like they should all be able to do that. What was he, 30? Like when you're getting intentionally
The worst,
fouled,
yeah.
when you're down, when you're getting intentionally fouled, just so you can shoot free throws.
The hack of Simmons, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
He was
bad.
scared. He was scared.
I heard that he had, I think it was the lowest free throw percentage in playoff history, lower than Shaquille O'Neal, right?
It was something like for a playoff series or something
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
okay.
It was like 38% for Shaq and 33 for Ben Simmons, something like that, if I remember correctly.
I saw somebody
Either way,
tweet.
historically bad.
I saw somebody tweet like, "Hey guys, Ben Simmons isn't going to see your tweet about it, but your high school friend that shot 30% from the free throw in the championships will."
Well, I mean, yeah, Ben Simmons, tough on you, dude. Good luck and for the rest of your future. Hopefully, I'll see you in Sacramento. If not, I wish you the best of your career.
We'll take you.
We'll see. Ben Simmons, we're going to talk about probably the entire offseason.
Very true. Very true. And
we're a pro Ben Simmons podcast.
Absolutely.
We're a pro Ben Simmons podcast.
And the last thing I want to say,
Comps.
about Ben Simmons, I think he needs a supportive fan base. There's no more supportive fan base than the Sacramento Kings because we're just sitting here waiting for anything. So talking about
You're making it sound like that you want to put on a Santa Claus outfit and I'll throw a snowball at you right now. Dissing the Philly fans. I don't know.
Hey,
tough love.
I'll do it. Hey,
brotherly love and tough love, they go together.
Hey, some people can take it, some people can't. So talking about one defensive player of the year runner-up to a defensive player of the year and the Utah Jazz, Rudy Gobert.
Matt, how's your Jazz take going?
My what? Sorry?
Your Jazz take. Your big Jazz guy.
I'm a huge Jazz guy.
Donnie Mitchell.
Everybody here is absolutely shattered. Yeah, I don't know, man. They're not flipping cars over there, just eating extra ice cream over here, but but I think they might be
Ben
frauds,
and Jerry's
man.
is out of stock
But-
everywhere.
Yeah, I think Rudy's not everybody's favorite anymore right now.
Yeah, you would think it'd be pretty hard for people to hate you after you spread coronavirus around the NBA, but people are finding another reason to hate him. So they're finding another reason to hate him. I'm just glad that the Utah Jazz fans are not a part of the NBA playoffs anymore. So fuck the Jazz fans. That's all
Well,
I gotta
actually,
say.
I agree because I work with one, right? And he was like, I just in passing was very much like, oh, how's the series going? How you feeling? And he's like, well, them not having Kawhi for this game, they're gonna see what it's like when we don't have Conley. Like they've been talking shit to us, and like
Oh,
those guys.
God.
Those are
not the same.
Not even
man.
close. Not even close to the same.
Yeah, I don't know. So his opinion was that Kawhi Leonard and Mike Conley are like the same guy, and that the only reason they lost the series was because they didn't have Conley,
which is
even
such
though they got
bullshit.
closed out without Kawhi.
Conley was on the court. Obviously Conley was trying to play through at the end there.
Yeah.
I think ultimately what sunk them was, we got to get a little bit of credit, good coaching from the Clippers. Ty Lue had a great strategy against Gobert. If you watch, I think the game 6 where they just put Batum at center and they were just it was all 3-point shooters. And every time to like throw the ball to whoever Rudy is guarding and then back up off Rudy and he won't jump at you at the 3-point line and get an open look. And it made Terrence Mann look like a superstar. And that's how they won. So, and I think the biggest sin that the Jazz committed in that series is just not adapting, not changing, not taking out Gobert.
Yep.
I know it's like he's the best defensive player, but when you got a bunch of smaller guys who are shooting threes, Gobert can't go from the rim to the line and protect the line.
Oh, you hit enter again.
There we go. Cutting off any good point I ever had.
Dude, so, I think the Mormon church is like hacking into your computer and muting you because you're talking too much shit about the Jazz.
Well, at least Utah still has their Las Vegas Golden Knights. They've adapted them.
Yeah, ridiculous.
They're down 3-2 to the Montreal Canadiens, but they got their Golden Knights and they got their fry sauce, so it's all good.
We'll be all right.
Fry sauce is fire.
It is fire, yeah. Underrated.
And don't you think that the Utah Jazz head coach looks like a guy that's in court fighting for custody? Just real sweaty, always thinking about the next move. But I just thought that was my last thought on Utah Jazz till next year.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's interesting how you bring up the point that like how Ty Lue completely went with like a small lineup. It's kind of similar with what happened to kind of going back to the 76ers and Embiid and the Hawks, just going small, shooting the three. They can't, like, I don't know, Embiid, they're not really challenging him in the middle, but guess what? They have the perimeter shooting. They end up winning the series.
Embiid was sloppy in Game 7, too.
Yep.
Ben Simmons was trash. Seth Curry
he was hurting.
like he used to. Totally, he was hurting. And Kevin Huerter, so let me see if I can get this joke right. Everyone's mom, their friend in the friend group that the moms always love is what Kevin Huerter is. You can just see when you look at his face, he's like, all the parents think he's such a good kid. And they're like, oh, you can stay at Kevin's house, of course. That's what Kevin Huerter looks like to me, the good kid. But he went off, and that helped them win the game.
Yeah.
Because Trey was not killing it that game.
No.
Bogdanovich was a complete no-show. So it was honestly Kevin Huerter.
Yeah, dude.
Mad respect to the
Shout
good
out.
kid.
Absolutely.
My Atlanta Hawks, dude.
Oh, yeah. Moving off the Jazz take, moving on to the Hawks take. That was
and my original
Jazz
pick
Hawks.
was Atlanta Hawks. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
So
John is the Suns guy.
Yeah.
John's a Sun guy.
I was gonna.
John and Matt are the only ones still alive.
I was gonna make another high-end transition here. So speaking of Herter and his orange hair, how about the orange jerseys for the Suns dominating last night with the alley-oop at the end of the game to win this, or not win the series, but to go up 2-0. Suns in 4 meme is still alive and going strong, dude.
They've won 9 straight, dude. They're won 9 straight in the playoffs.
Yep,
without CP3.
Yeah,
without CP3, and he's coming.
Is he coming back?
Yeah,
coming back.
Yep, he'll be back. Yeah, he should be back soon.
Can they stop him? Does Kawhi need to make a miraculous comeback in Game 3 against CP3? Is that the way this series shifts, or is it over?
I don't know if Kawhi's gonna make it back, man. And if he does, I mean, he will be not 100%. No shot he'll be 100%. So it'll be interesting to see if he can play the same defense that he played previously.
It's been pretty quiet from the front of if Kawhi is going to play. I have not heard a single thing. It seems like it's just an indefinite thing. Whenever he comes back, he comes back. But
pretty quiet.
Right,
also, Paul George is at his moments in the playoffs, but he's also had a lot of blowits I've seen.
Yeah,
and I think we're more used to Paul George blowits than anything else. That's a classic Paul George thing in the playoffs. So, but he obviously carried him through the last series.
Right.
But he really blew it in the game last night.
Yeah, missing those free
throws.
throws.
He was the one bitching about the review and how the Suns had time to draw it up. And it's like, dude, if you make your free throws, none of that matters. Yeah. Yep. Make your free throws, kids. Looking at you, Ben Simmons.
Every time that Paul George fucks up, I love the resurgence of that Gatorade commercial. Have you guys seen that? It's like a Gatorade commercial where he's like chugging Gatorade and he like throws up a shot and he just goes, game. And then everybody clips in like a brick that he shoots. It's so fucking funny. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so fucking funny.
Yikes.
Well, yeah, man. The NBA playoffs are fucking heating up. It's awesome
It's
to
been
watch.
so fun.
It's awesome
Especially,
to watch.
So fun.
like our first episode back, I said not a big NBA guy, but it's really sucking me in. And I actually, there was the tweet, I want to read it actually, because it was June 20th. It was 3 days ago, before the last couple games. But he said, "This is not a nightmare for the NBA. None of the big stars are left. Guys who casual fans want to watch aren't there. There's no LeBron. There's no Steph, Durant, Luka. It's not good for the league. But all the games have been so good. And it's been fun watching. It's not like people didn't know who Donovan Mitchell was, but watching him ascend another step, watching Trae Young, watching Ayton, watching Devin Booker, even guys like Bridges,
league MVP Jay Crowder,
yeah. I think it's been awesome. Almost every single game has been really, really good.
Close, exciting. I don't know. There's no guaranteed anything. There's no givens in these playoffs, And I
don't want to see LeBron. I don't want to fucking see him.
We're tired of it.
Fuck LeBron. Fuck all that. Yeah. We've been watching a decade of that.
Exactly.
We're looking for something different specifically. So.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It feels like the changing of the guard, right? I forget when I don't know if we talked about this, but it was like the 2016 or 17 draft. You look at all those players, almost all of them are deep in the playoffs this year. So this is finally the year where these young players have been in the league long enough. They're now the leaders of their team. They have a good coach, a good scheme around them. It seems like the young guys are starting to take over. And I know that's a conversation all the time, but like you said, guys like Durant, guys like LeBron, Luka's younger, and obviously the Mavericks have their own issues going
22.
on. Yeah, he'll still be around, but it's fun to watch these new small market, quote unquote, teams with young players get great and go deep in the playoffs. As a Kings fan, it gives me hope that hopefully we will be in that as well. But
Suns Kings alliance.
Exactly, the Suns Kings alliance needs to stay strong. They need to remember their roots. Now that Ayton is playing out of his fucking mind, it's it gives me hope that Bagley can do the same. Hopefully next year. But only time will tell.
What an optimistic view you have.
I know. I'm trying to be glass half full every time it comes to
I really
Kings.
hope Bagley turns it around next year. I haven't heard a Kings fan say that in a couple years. So,
dude, it's still an experiment, and if the experiment pays off and he develops, we'll see. I'm still going to squat on the take that he's going to have a statistically have a better season than Porzingis next year. I'm sticking on that take.
They both are going to play 5 games each.
That hopefully not. Fuck.
But this guy's argument was only one of the top 15 best-selling jerseys playing. Who the fuck cares?
That's ridiculous.
Let's watch Netflix. What do you want to watch? The Office. Oh, cool. We've all seen that before a million times.
I haven't seen it because I don't have a Peacock login yet. So
Peacock's
I was gonna say Fresh Prince, but Tom mentioned it.
I haven't seen it.
All right. So obviously playoffs are hot. There is, however, some other conversations going on, specifically in the NBA, specifically regarding officiating and officiating against people drawing fouls. Did you guys hear anything about this?
A little bit. So the James Harden rule is what it sounds like to me.
Exactly. So essentially,
go for it. If you've got it pulled up.
I have a couple of bullets that basically explain a little bit what they're going to talk about. So they basically say that NBA referees are going to be trained to properly officiate the following actions used to draw fouls. Number 1, shooter launches/leans into a defender at an abnormal angle. So that's the classic pump fake. Guy tries to block the shot, and then you just lean into him and awkwardly shoot. Which I love that. I've hated that since it started in when we were in high school. I remember starting to see it. So I love that that's going to be cleaned up.
So I imagine it's like when you shoot and you kick your legs forward.
That's the next one. The next one is shooter kicks leg at an abnormal angle. So both of those are separate but kind of together. And then the last one is the offensive player abruptly veers off path, sideways or backwards into another defender. So kind of I assume that's kind of when they're driving at the basket and somebody's kind of getting in front of them and they Euro step into them or jump into them.
Exactly, or do a fadeaway and they literally are kind of falling into the other player as they're shooting.
Right.
It's they are initiating contact during their shot rather than the defender initiating contact during their shot.
Right.
Which it happens so frequently. So I just feel like they would have to be extremely clear about it and make a change in the offseason because every single game, multiple times a game. It's now part of people's game.
Right. Well, and it's I don't know. I think it's something that is needed, and it's not going to be like the MLB rule where they're going to do it in the middle of the playoffs or the middle of the season. They're clearly going to train the refs. I'm sure they're going to have a training with the players. But yeah, players are definitely going to argue it. Like, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more reviews. The games might even get longer. There's going to be, I don't know, Harden is going to have to completely, change his game. So it's very interesting.
So the one example that was in that Nets series that I think is a very interesting foul call is, so when you have the ball and the defender has his arm over your arm when you have the ball, regardless of where you are near the basket, you just push your arms up and throw the ball at the hoop.
Yeah.
Because even if they kind of like, I'm just trying to play defense on you and I kind of got an arm like around over your arm a little bit, I just know I got to go like this, and all of a sudden the ref's going to call it a foul.
Yep.
Like, and then Kyrie's on the sideline like, oh, good play, like thinking man's basketball. Do we want that to be basketball? Like, I got a fake looking foul. That's 2 shots. I think it needs to be addressed.
I mean, if you're defending somebody though, and you have your hands like in their face and they go up into you, you have to be aware of that. I think like it's.
But if you're like on the side, like if I've got the ball here and I'm dribbling, and your arm's over my arm like this, and all I have to do for you to foul me is me move up my arm. Because your arm's right here, so I just go boom.
Right.
You fouled me now because I went boom. Like that's a wily veteran move that I don't think necessarily should actually be a foul, but it is right now.
It'll be interesting to see if they determine like what a correct shooting motion, or if there is like if they suspect an obscure shooting motion, then it is an offensive foul. That's we don't know, right? Like it'll be interesting to
gray
see.
Area.
Yeah,
super gray area.
It's gonna be.
Yeah, what is
controversial.
it if the defender's coming down, or like
down?
If you go into them, or do you go into I don't know.
Who initiated?
Yeah, who initiates it? Yeah. That's a slippery slope.
It's a very, very, very slippery slope.
Terminal velocity.
Yeah, we got to whiteboard it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's something that's interesting. I think it's going to be, like we were saying, extremely controversial, but it'll be interesting. So I think that's good old NBA talk. Speaking of controversial stuff, we talked a lot last week about spin rate and spider tact and what the MLB is going to do to stop these pitchers from getting insane spin rates. Now we're starting to kind of see the fallout of that. We're seeing pitchers get checked. Obviously, we saw DeGrom get checked, and he was like, fuck it, whatever, check my stuff. Like, I'm incredible. Don't fuck with me. I have nothing on me. And then you have other pitchers like Sergio Romo who just gets naked. So it's very interesting to see.
Let's be clear, he didn't get naked.
He
dropped trow.
Yeah, he did drop trow. Drop trow.
Did you see Max Scherzer?
Oh,
yeah. Like, why don't you check Bryce Harper's hair?
No way.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because they were playing Philly.
Check his hair.
Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. I love Max Scherzer.
I do too.
Well, didn't he get checked like a second time or like multiple times, and then he just was like, who was the manager? Was it
Joe Girardi was the one that asked for the look.
Yeah, and he just was like staring him down like he was gonna fucking murder him.
We all know Joe Girardi did it because he saw that Max was already pissed off about the first 2 checks. So he asked for it a third time because he thought it would throw him off his game. And that's exactly what happened. Whether Joe Girardi says it or not, he's like, oh, I don't know. I was just making sure. He was touching his hair a lot. I just want to make sure. Nah, we knew what you were doing. Everyone does.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows Joe Girardi's a piece of shit. Because, I mean, nobody trusts like a 40-something-year-old man with braces.
I was just going to ask, does he still have braces?
He does. He might still have braces. I hope not. Actually, I hope he does. But really, it's pretty embarrassing, and like that's the solution right now. I don't know what the easy fix is, but it's just not a good look. Go out and
it's weird. Even Gossman got checked today.
Everybody gets checked. They get checked twice, I think. Every starting pitcher does, and it'll become part of the normal rhythm eventually, I think. But I also assume at a certain point they're just going to stop checking because it will not happen anymore. At least it shouldn't. But then the whole pendulum's going to swing the other way, and if they don't check, then people are going to do it more. And we're
talking about pace of play is like a huge issue in Major League Baseball, and we're talking about pitch clocks, and we're talking about all like limiting mound visits, but now we're gonna go check pitchers.
That was so 3 years ago, Matt. We're now moving on to, we're deadening the ball and we're checking every pitcher's armpit every inning. Like it's a different world.
That's true. That's true.
But
yeah, I don't know.
It's unreal.
Good. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fucking interesting. Well, speaking of Max Scherzer, I know a lot of people are talking about the trade deadline coming up. A lot of people think he might move. A lot of people are talking about who's going to be buying, who's going to be selling. You guys looked into MLB free agency, or not free agency, but like trade market at all? You guys got any hot takes on who you think is going to be moving or who's going to be buying or selling?
Giants are buying.
I think the Giants will be buying too. I hope they're buying some bullpen help. I think we've talked about that a lot.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
They're going to buy and sell. I don't think they're going to do anything crazy, but they'll add some pieces that'll contribute, and they'll sell off some that you're like, how the hell did we get rid of that contract? That's just what they do. I don't think Scherzer's going to be moved. It would take a lot.
The Nationals are bad, but not that bad, right?
Well, the NL East isn't very good. Yeah, I think the Mets are in first place last time I checked, and they would be like 10 games out if they were in any other division.
That's wild.
So it's not like it's totally. I mean, and they have so much talent. I just don't see it.
Yeah, they're a good team, Yeah, I don't think Max Scherzer goes. I think all of your classic teams are going to trade away stuff. Your Tigers, your Pirates, your Diamondbacks are going to be a fire sale. Twins, exactly. We're going to see all that. So where they all end up, we'll see. But I feel like the Giants, if I'm going to throw a Giants take in there, is they probably could lose one outfielder for some bullpen help. Even though, ironically, we traded bullpen help to get Tauchman. But I feel like we're all of a sudden pretty talented, even in our younger players, in that position. So, because we've just got Tauchman, Yastrzemski, Darren Ruff, who plays left. We've got a lot of outfielders, right? And they're all like playable in the MLB. So I could see that being something where we want to bring back like Lamont Wade. We got to get rid of one of these major league guys. That might work, but
I want to see a guy like. I doubt they would trade interdivision, but like the Diamondbacks trading like an Eduardo Escobar, somebody like that can be a utility infielder that just hits a ton of home runs, or maybe like Starling Marte from the Marlins. Like, what are the Marlins doing?
Nothing.
True.
That's the kind of trade I'd like to see.
I think it's possible.
Trey Mancini, the best comeback story of the year, coming back from cancer.
I forget his name, but the Tigers closer has also been killing it this year, and the Tigers are trash.
Well, there's Michael Fulmer. There's Gregory Soto. They got a few. Yeah, Fulmer will probably be traded.
And
he's a hell of a player.
So we'll see. When trade deadline is, that's post All-Star break, right?
I believe so.
31st. July 31st. Yep.
All right. So yeah, it's coming up.
Hell yeah.
We shall see.
It'll heat up.
Hell yeah. Once again.
Hot stove, baby. Watch your hands. It's a hot stove.
Throw them in the fire, baby. Well, once again, transition. Speaking of All-Star Weekend, of course, we have the Grand Home Run Derby. We were talking about this a little bit last week. Shohei is in. Pete Alonso is in, and is also the defending champ from 2019. Unfortunately, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is not going to be participating. He just wants to focus second half.
Boo.
Yeah. Boo. Everybody boo Vlad Jr.
Boo. It's at Coors Field, dude. Come on.
Right.
There's never a better place.
Yeah, sit out next year, dude. Come on.
I
think anybody kill to do a home run derby at Coors Field. Come on.
Yeah.
How many layers of tinfoil is Pete Alonso going to have under his batting helmet? Just like one or two, or
I also don't get why he's even in it. Like, I guess maybe just to defend his crown, but he only has 11 home runs.
Yeah.
He wants to be a superstar. He was considered a superstar last year, so he's got to keep that going. He's in the New York market.
That's true.
I guess so. He might end up getting lost in the Denver airport on his way into the Coors Field. Who knows?
He's going to be doing some side research, like, I've never done that at the Denver airport. Like, Google stuff while I'm there. I've never done that. But...
What is this Nazi guy with the sword and all these dead bodies?
Dude, what is that?
Denver airport is weird.
Such a pleasant thing to see when you fly into a new a new state. That's awesome.
It looks like a fun city.
One of the 4 horse the apocalypse greets you when you drive in. It's a great time.
Oh, so Connor asked, do the home run derby pitchers also get checked for sticky stuff? Or
Just striking them out.
they just got 8,000 spin rate fucking throw into the home run derby guys?
Dad, stop.
Yeah. Bryce Harper just gets so
Pedro
mad.
Martinez is going to volunteer to be the all-time pitcher during the home run derby.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Just fucking throw some stank
He's-
on it every time.
I'm aiming at your head.
Exactly.
It's a fun event for families.
It's a fun event.
I wonder.
Oh my God.
It would be, obviously this would never happen, but it would be wild to see like Shohei pitch to himself in the home run derby. Just see what he could do.
Wait. Can you walk me through him pitching to himself?
Yeah. So okay. So remember.
Goes up? Does he do a flip and swing, or is he literally stand on the mound, throw it, and he runs over?
No. He's on the mound and he's gonna throw it like really high up in the air, like a really high softball pitch. Sprint
like
back.
it.
He's already gonna have the bat in his left hand. He's gonna throw it up,
Ah.
sprint back to home, and then hit it out of the park.
Hit a one-handed home run.
Yeah, I mean, we already know the guy has insane stamina because he plays every game, pitching, hitting, outfield, everything. But it's
So if anyone can do it, it's him.
that is true,
I'm
man.
stoked to watch him.
Me too. He's gonna slap the shit out of the ball. It's gonna be
Crank it.
incredible to watch, and I love that he's like embracing the fun part of the home run derby. He's like, yeah, I can hit home runs. He's like, I'm hitting well this year. I want to be kind of in the limelight of the MLB. Like it's just,
Hell yeah.
it's fun.
And that's
I
what
hate
everybody
when,
wants to see.
yeah, exactly. Like when, like obviously to bring up LeBron again, when he never has done the slam dunk competition, it's like, dude, fucking, obviously he's a terrible dunker, but it's like, dude, try it, do it, come on. Oh, Matt and I think we've talked
Well,
about this, how bad of a dunker LeBron
he's-
actually is.
Yeah, I mean, he does it with authority, but he's not creative. And I
No.
think he's always been scared because he always would say, oh, I'll do it like next year. I'll do it next. He
Yep.
said that when he was like 18, 22, 25. And he just never did. He anti-LeBron podcast.
And now-
But
yeah.
we're talking about home run derby.
LeBron. Yeah.
So we have two. So we got Pete Alonso. We got Shohei Ohtani. Unfortunately, I think it'd be really good for the sport if Vlad Guerrero Jr. was in it, but he's not. Who else do we want to see?
Maybe next year.
I mean, I think
Who
obviously,
else do we think's going to be in it?
I think Tatis is a big answer, right? Everybody
He
wants to
has
see
to.
Tatis. He
But-
has to
but
do it.
is
He's
he
young
too
enough.
much of a superstar? Is he gonna be like, I don't
Is
know,
his
I don't
shoulder
wanna
too
I don't
hurt?
wanna hurt. I've been out. I'm a superstar. I'm on the show. You know. I don't know. I think he's like such a big star that he feels like he doesn't have to. I wouldn't be shocked.
I bet Rob Manfred is begging him. to
Oh,
do
I
it.
bet.
Absolutely.
Please.
I think
It's got to if
awkward
if
voicemail we
Acuna
left on.
and if Ronald Acuna and Tatis aren't in it, then it's just
Not as
not gonna be
good.
the same.
it's not.
But
gonna
if
be as
they're
good.
both in it, it's gonna be so fucking sick. if
Oh,
they
yeah.
both are.
Well, I mean, that's what everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to see Acuna with his like McDonald's gear on, fucking hitting dingers, you know. But I would say,
McDonald's.
sorry, you see him hit. He's got like all the red and yellow gear. It's fucking weird. It's like you're on the Braves. Your colors are blue and red. Why do you have red and yellow? I don't know. It's weird.
Do what you want, man.
I guess so.
It's his
But
thing.
to see who I would want in hometown pick, obviously Brandon Crawford.
Wait, isn't his name Ronald?
Yeah, Ronald McDonald, dude.
There you go. All right. Just clarifying that. All right.
I would love to see Brandon Crawford. He's been fucking dick
Yeah.
slapping some tallywhacks. I'd love to see him up in Coors Field just raking piss missiles. I don't know who else. I mean, I'm looking at this list here. Matt Olson would be great too. Obviously, get a little Oakland love. That would be fun. I do like, even though he's not performing well, just Christian Yelich would be fun to watch him like do it because I know he wanted to do it a lot last year, the year before, and he got
They'd
hurt.
probably take him too if he said he was interested. I bet they would just in a heartbeat put him.
Oh,
in there
absolutely.
for his stats. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh,
Or
so
Bryce Harper's got 10. He just hit his 10th today, but
wow.
Let's
But
get
he's-
Bryce in
you know-
there. Let's get Bryce in there.
but everybody wants to see Bryce Harper in it. That's like, Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, Giancarlo Stanton. They're not
Throw 'em
leading the
in
league
there.
in home runs, but they're all just huge guys that we know just
Bring
hit
'em
the shit out
along.
of the ball. Get him in there.
Come
But-
on.
Kansas City fans are making a huge push to get Salvador Perez in there, which would be pretty
I also
awesome.
like that. I love Salvador Perez.
Yeah, I like the idea of getting guys
Yeah.
like that. Like Kyle Schwarber or Adolis Garcia, Jared Walsh, guys like that nobody's ever seen. Kind of like what we were talking about with the NBA playoffs. It'd be kind of cool to see some new faces in there.
Absolutely. So
Especially
Connor's,
Brandon Crawford.
hell yeah, Brandon Crawford would be
Especially
fun.
Brandon Crawford.
Connor's writing in the chat.
He's
He
bringing
said,
sexy back.
Yo, he's been bringing sexy back. And if you didn't know, tune in. But Connor's saying in the chat that the MLB should adopt a skills challenge like the NBA. He says home runs are cool or whatever, but I want to see some clean field and ground balls and Derek Jeter throws.
That would be so fucking
That would
sick.
be really cool.
I would
actually.
love that, dude.
Yeah.
Like what if an outfielder had to throw a ball like a dead eye throw from like the back of center field from the warning track, and there's like a little ring right at home plate, and if they could throw the ball right through it or something, that would be so fucking sick.
You just got like Laureano back there just like slinging it. Or I mean, there was that footage of Crawford when he was in the minors doing like all these sick like behind the back flips and all that kind of stuff. That would be so cool. Or just watching like Nolan from like one knee off balance, just slinging it over to first. But does the casual fan like that? Or they're like, that's cool throw?
I would think so, right? Like I would tune in for that. But how do you do it with each position? Do you have like 3 guys or 4 guys from each position?
Yeah, like the first base pick challenge.
Yeah,
exactly. I like pitcher pickoff challenge too. You just see who's got the fastest pickoff move.
That would be kind of cool.
I don't know how exciting it would be, but I would like to watch it.
Why not?
Who's like the least liable in the outfield and left field kind of thing? Like he's like the big guy that's like not as bad as the others.
the classic Barry Bonds curse. Granted, he had a great arm.
Yeah, like the Pat Burrell challenge.
The Pat Burrell challenge.
It would be fun to see.
How short can you throw it to the checkoff guy? You know, to the cutoff guy. Like how short would the ball go?
One thing.
And actually, I would like to see the home run derby. I feel like I've been harping on the aluminum bats thing, but I don't care. I want to see them use aluminum bats in the home run derby. Like, make it fun.
4 episodes in a row, Matt's brought up aluminum bats. I think
it's a sensitive subject. Clearly,
it is.
One thing that I love about All-Star Weekend, and I want to hear your guys' takes. How do you feel about the celebrity softball game?
Love it.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Billy Crystal out there. Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah, dude. You got Bill Murray hitting homers, like Kenny Mayne.
Yeah.
Kenny Mayne out there just making plays.
Justin Bieber taking grounders. Sure. I'm down.
70-year-old actual ball players still raking against 30-year-old celebrities. Yeah.
Dude,
I think they should mix it though, and they do a decent job. Like guys like Billy Crystal, but I want to see like Macaulay Culkin out there in left field. You know, I want to see. Actually, that guy died, so not the guy that played Screech, but
oh yeah, shit. Oh yeah,
I forgot he died. My bad.
Rip Screech.
I think everyone should be mic'd up, or they should just have mics all over it too. When it's they're all just talking shit at each other. I just want to hear what they're talking to each other about, especially when they're on base and stuff. I think that's a big component to me. I don't want to hear an announcer when Dave Chappelle's up to bat against fucking, I don't know, Redman. He'd probably pitch.
I don't need to hear Carl Ravage while that's happening.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't need that.
The only thing that I feel like is gonna suck.
I do want to hear Dave Chappelle talk shit when he's taking.
Did you hear? All right, so on opening day, speaking of Carl Ravage, he interviews Boba Fett, and he's like
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Sorry. Move forward.
Young Toronto Blue Jays superstar shortstop. So he asked him like, "What's some of your songs that you like? Just like sing a song for us, like some ESPN shit." And he sings "Peaches" by Justin Bieber. And he's like, "And you write these songs? Like you, like those are your lyrics? You just write these songs off the cuff?" He's like, "No, dude, that's Justin Bieber. What do you?"
What the
fuck? It does show that MLB needs a little bit of a facelift because it's got some serious boomer energy.
It does. Well, it's like the players don't. Like the players are tapped in.
But they just have like they don't market their players well.
Exactly. And the media surrounding baseball is a bunch of old heads, right?
You know who should be the face of like Sunday Night Baseball and nationally televised baseball games? Dave Flynn, baby. Dave.
I was gonna say Dwayne the Rock Johnson, but he should be president. He should be the king of XFL.
He should play running back, quarterback, left tackle, wide receiver,
left field, center field, pitcher, catcher, first base.
And I'd love him as a camp counselor.
Oh, love him. Absolutely love the guy. All right, so it's MLB talk. We're talking a little bit about XFL. Let's segue a little bit into the NFL. So We had obviously some big news come out. June is Pride Month, so Carl Nassib came out as gay. He was the first ever active NFL player to come out as gay. Obviously, players like Michael Sam paved the way for him to speak up and own their truth. Personally, I think hopefully this encourages more athletes to feel accepted and allowed to come out in the future, because clearly there are closeted men playing sports currently, right? It's a fact. So I don't know. I thought it was a really cool story. I hope more people can come out and just feel more comfortable. And I think what we're seeing is a lot of teammates are now being more supportive than they've probably ever been. Obviously, it's 2021, arguably one of the most progressive years, and it's pretty much every year after this has been the most progressive year. So I think it's really cool.
That's great. And he's the top selling jersey on Fanatics.com the last 2 days.
Yeah,
so it's really cool. And he seems like he just seems like a really good dude. And like donating $100K to I forget the name of the foundation, so I apologize for that, but it's for suicide prevention for the community. I don't know. I think it's really cool, and I like what he said, which I agree with, was that hopefully like someday you don't have to like announce this kind of stuff.
That too.
It is a little weird to have to be like, hey, I'm gay. It just shouldn't matter.
Right.
But it is huge that he did it. And it takes a lot of guts, because it is like such a hot button. You know, you got your people that are like anti-kneeling and stuff like that. And I like that we're finally being able to accept like everybody as a country, like, are trying to get that way. And I don't know, I think it's just like a huge step for him. And hopefully he doesn't have to be known as like the gay football player. He can still be known as a good D end on a good team and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, hats off to him. And I think it's super cool.
I think it's cool when anyone gets to just be more honest about who they are, especially in a public setting.
Yep.
The NFL and all the sports that, we are, a bunch of white dudes talking about sports over here. It's not exactly always been the most inclusive culture for these things that, sports in general.
Totally.
So when anyone can just be honest and be open, it not only opens the door for other NFL players to be honest about their sexuality and who they are, but just anyone in any sport where there's a stigma against that person, like
right.
Female, male, whoever you are and whoever you want to be, you need to be able to share that and be comfortable with that. And, people like him going out and being open to the rest of the world, it's huge.
I agree. And I guess, I probably didn't word it that great, but the fact that he is breaking down the door, because there was the door and it existed, and breaking down that stigma, it just sucks that the stigma's there, that you have to feel like nobody should have to come out and be like, yeah, like I'm gay, like, does it matter?
Yeah, it is
but
really
but it does to
matter
people
every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
So somebody's got to kick that door down.
Well, and I think you made a good point in saying, like, hopefully people don't have to do this again, and hopefully he can just be a good DN on a good team, because, like, looking at Michael Sam, I think Michael Sam, he came out, I think, when he was not playing, and then he came back into the league, and it was like he was quote unquote the gay guy, and he was like
coming out of college, and he was like an undrafted
guy. That's right.
He just wasn't a good enough player.
Right. But it was just kind of a bummer. I feel like he kind of got like typecasted, and he was like on the Rams, I think, for a little bit. But I don't know. I really hope that, like you said, down the line, people don't have to do it. It's something where we can accept everybody for who they are. The NFL doesn't give a shit. The media doesn't give a shit. It's just be yourself, have fun, and like, yeah, if you want to tell your teammates, cool, tell your teammates, but you don't have to make this big national like news story about it. And I think he probably did it even more so to raise awareness for the charity that he was donating to. And I know I've seen on Twitter a lot of people are supporting it. A lot of people are donating themselves, asking their fan bases to support it. So I think it's awesome. I think it's really.
He's got to be a good face. I mean, I don't know if he wants to consider himself part of the movement, but he's a great face for it. I remember watching him when he was on the Browns
and on
during Hard Knocks. Yep. He was like in his first or second year, but he was doing like seminars for financial advice.
Yes.
Oh like
my God.
Major.
Yes.
Yeah, just like helping all the young rookies out that like how to like manage your money and all that stuff. Like he just seems like a really good dude.
Yeah, if you are against someone like him coming out and being honest about himself, then you can fuck off.
Yeah, don't listen to the podcast. Get the fuck out of our room.
Get the fuck out.
Get out of here.
Why don't you move out of the 1950s and join the rest of them?
No room for that shit here.
Seriously.
So also another thing.
It's big.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely huge. And it's like we said, hopefully something that can continue going forward, and maybe we don't have to talk about these big stories. It's just who people are. So in other NFL news, NFL Network's Mike Garofalo said today, or I don't know if it was today or a couple days ago, but he said that he believes that at some point we are going to see Trey Lance this upcoming season because everything that he's heard this spring is how impressive he's been. Yeah, you're good, man.
Enjoy the Niners talk.
We will. Well, we'll get your Eagles takes when you come back. So, Matt, I know obviously you're a big Trey Lance guy, as am I. However, do you think we're actually going to see him? What do you think is going to happen this season?
I think we'll definitely see him. I don't know if he's going to be the starter at any point, but it seems like you're starting to get like these little whispers in the wind of something going on. And when that starts to happen, there's a little bit of truth there because Kyle Shanahan came on Tim Kawakami's podcast and basically said, hey, like Trey looked great. Everything was like, he was impressive, all that good stuff. Now they have that 40-day window before training camp to see what happens. And if he comes back and he's absorbed everything and everything looks great, then he didn't say there would be a competition, but he kind of made it sound like there might be a competition. And if they're close, why wouldn't you just start him?
Exactly. Why not start him? Why not just get him going? And guess what? If he doesn't succeed in the starting role, guess what? You have an incredible backup in Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
And that's like I heard George Kittle on Pardon My Take just the other day, and even the way they asked him about like how is Jimmy handling this whole situation, and the answer that he gave, you could tell he was kind of like tiptoeing and saying like, oh, Jimmy's a great guy, he's handling it really well. He's like, there's kind of like Jimmy is ready to step up to the occasion. He's like, it's going to be a good competition. And I was like, whoa. He basically just admitted that there is going to be a competition for the role. And obviously, I think the reason why Trey Lance was brought in is obviously let's light a fire under Jimmy's ass and see if he can produce this year, stay healthy. But it's going to be very interesting to see if there is that actual competition for the starting job.
There could be. I think the only thing that people say is that he didn't play last year. But just, so that's probably the only reason they don't think like, oh, Justin Herbert started his rookie year.
Yep.
Like you got a lot of guys are starting to. But yeah, if they're close, I don't see why you wouldn't just start Trey and start that clock because you want to win on your rookie contract. That's like the big thing in the NFL now.
Totally.
Is surround the rookie with talent, try to win with a guy that's not making $27 million a year, taking up all that cap space. And this guy's the future of your franchise. And if he's just blowing people out of the water, that's the thing that I think would be an issue is if they're pretty close and you're just super impressed by Trey Lance, what he can do. You know that he's got packages that Jimmy can never be able to do.
Yep.
Throwing on the run, running, and things like that. What message does it send to the locker room if they're close and everybody knows it, they're not stupid, and you just go, we're just gonna go with Jimmy.
Right. With that being said, though, would you be comfortable if they did a like hybrid, like Lance comes in for 10 plays, 10 packages a game, and then Jimmy plays the rest of the snaps? Like, would you be okay? Kind of like what Tom, I can bring you in on this, like what they did with Jalen Hurts and who was it, Nick Foles, I believe, right? Or Jalen Hurts and Wentz, right?
And Wentz, but the whole thing when you have two quarterbacks that are both coming in, that you're gonna split the locker room with people that are in on one or in on the other, and then when it's like one person comes in and impresses, everyone's gonna be like, why isn't that guy starting? I just don't think the NFL is a league where you can have a rotating quarterback and have a whole team get behind them. It just seems like it hasn't really worked consistently. It's like just in the past, like I don't think the Saints were all stoked that Taysom Hill should start, like they knew what he was. But when you talk about two players that can be starting quarterbacks, it makes it a little rocky and people are going to have opinions.
Well, I was going to say that the New Orleans thing made sense because Drew Brees knew like that these were very specific packages for Taysom Hill. He didn't feel threatened. He was on his way out anyways. And Philly was a very awkward situation because Carson Wentz was their number 2 overall pick, had a renewed contract. So it wasn't like Jalen Hurts was drafted to be the next guy. It was just kind of like, I don't know. It was just kind of weird, but there is no mistaking Trey Lance is the future of their franchise, and that Jimmy Garoppolo has nothing to do with their future plans. It might just be more of an acceleration, which
so why not
is
trade
kind of
him
what
now?
the Niners did with Colin Kaepernick in his rookie year. He came in on some packages where it's like, come back and like Alex Smith can't throw it that far. Like we'll do a route where we have Vernon Davis go deep on a a tight end streak, and we'll just chuck it downfield. Or like, if you're at the 5-yard line, you want to run QB power with a big guy like Trey Lance, why not do that? And I don't know. I'm sure it's a little awkward. Like, say that he comes in week 1, they get on the 5-yard line, they run QB power, he punches it in, and it's just like electric, and everybody's
stoked. It's a little different, though.
It does
I see your point. I see your point, though, is that everyone in that locker room understands. Compared to in the Eagles, where it's 2 young guys, it becomes a little like you got to pick your favorite parent,
Right. Yeah. The Eagles had a really weird situation last year.
Howie Roseman, baby.
Howie.
But hey, at least you guys have a new receiver.
But I'm sure to answer the question, I think we will see at least some of Trey Lance. I don't know if he's going to start, but I actually wouldn't be shocked if he was starting week 1.
Trade? Is there a mid-season trade like Garoppolo is going to go to the Broncos when they don't get Aaron Rodgers?
You never know. Like if you have like a Teddy Bridgewater situation, like where he goes down to camp and they're very close, and all of a sudden somebody's like, "Hey, we'll give you a 2nd rounder for Jimmy." Fuck it,
why not?
Let's do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Why not get something for him?
It's going to be eventually or now. So why not now?
Yeah. I'm all on board to move him if, like you said, Trey is performing and he has those packages and he's making incredible throws. But I would be a little scared though if you get rid of Jimmy, you fully commit to Trey, and then he's like shaky. It's like, oh fuck, did we do this too early? Did we throw him in the fire and he's not excelling? Which I'm not really afraid of, because obviously everything that we're hearing is great, but you never know until you see a guy in the game on game day. Like you can say he's incredible on camp,
your safety
practice.
Your safety net is your defense, your run game, and your coach.
Very true.
So he is going to do everything he can to make it a lot easier for him.
I just don't want
it's not like Garoppolo carried the team over the last couple of years.
No.
True. Very true. I mean, it's been the run game, it's been the defense, it's been play action to Kittle.
Niners roast. Got you guys.
Yeah, all right, dude. I guess.
But all I would say is that with that kind of national media smoke, there's a little bit of fire there.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. 100%. Well, I mean, we're going to there's a lot more NFL news to keep coming, a lot more crazy camp news to be coming. We'll be covering it here on the A-Gap podcast. So, we last episode, we talked about, we had some homework to do. So, did everybody do their homework?
I never did my homework, and that's why I didn't get into a good college.
But hey, I think you're doing pretty well for yourself, so... So basically our homework was to find some Olympic obscure sports that we are excited to watch. So obviously there's the new sports, which we talked a little bit about last week, but after some homework from Matt, so good job on doing your homework, we found out that the new sports for 2021 are surfing, skateboarding, sport climbing, karate, baseball, and then I believe it's also golf, and apparently breakdancing was confirmed for Paris 2024, but is not going to be in Tokyo, so next Olympics. And then there are also some future sports that are contenders but are not officially in, which is American football, billiards, which would be fucking sick.
I think that'd be dope.
That would be so fun. That'd be so fun. Bowling, bridge. I don't even know what bridge is. What is that?
It's a card game.
It's a card. Okay, a card game in the Olympics.
Not interested.
Not interested. No, veto.
All the grandmas would love logging into the bridge.
Bridge
Olympic fucking trial.
I can't wait to watch cribbage.
Yeah,
exactly, dude.
No chance. Like, okay, a card game, no, but also chess is on, which I think chess would be sick. Because that's a universal sport.
I like that we're anti-cards.
Anti-cards, but chess
sure.
is that, yes.
Pro chess, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Because cards, it's like, even, I don't know what bridge is at all, but I assume it's like there's luck involved. Whereas chess is all strategy. Like, there is no quote-unquote luck in chess. Unless the only luck you get is your opponent fucking up, right? So it's all strategy. It's not RNG. Then dance sport. How is dance sport different from breakdancing?
I don't know.
Colby, can you bring it on, dude?
Bring it on, dude. Stomp. I'm gonna stomp the yard.
Are you gonna
dude.
stomp the yard, dude?
Yeah, dude. And then also polo, squash, and sumo.
How is polo not already a Olympic sport?
I thought
what is squash?
Squash is like racquetball, but the ball is like less bouncy, and the rackets, I believe, are smaller. Yeah, that's it. It's basically racquetball.
I think racquetball would be cool.
Racquetball would be awesome.
Super cool.
How about pickleball, though?
Sumo would also be cool.
Pickleball would be
Olympic.
sick.
How about like can jam?
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm so down.
Maybe a
Oh,
little cornhole, dude.
yeah. Cornhole,
Olympic
can
cornhole?
jam,
Yeah,
Ladder
cornhole,
ball?
I'll be on board.
ladder
I'm
ball.
saying
Okay.
lawn games.
Quarters, beer pong.
Beersby?
Beersby.
Now we're just talking like what was that movie, Beer Fest? Now we're just talking Beer Fest at the
Yeah,
Olympics,
exactly.
dude, which I'm down for.
I want to see who the greatest athlete that can shotgun a beer is. I think we should hand out a medal to that. You know.
Who? I mean, who?
the
Quint,
fastest
is it Quentin
shotgunner in the
Nelson who was
world.
pretty good?
It's Dwayne. The
Bakhtiari.
Rock.
Is he still considered an athlete at this point? Like,
Well,
I'm
yeah.
sure he would consider himself.
Athlete of the
true.
mind.
Yes.
very true, very true. So I don't know. The Olympics obviously are going to be electric. There's a few sports that I think we just talked about that we would love to see. Slam ball would obviously be an incredible addition. This massive slam ball podcast here. We want to see that. Some mud wrestling. Obviously, we talked beer shotgunning. Barefooting or like any water sport, I think would be kind of fun.
Wait, can you go more in depth with barefooting with me?
Have you ever seen people barefoot behind a boat? So it's essentially
Oh.
like, so it's like people ski. You know, people ski behind a boat. You just basically do it with no skis on. And you have to literally go like 50 or 60 miles an hour, and you're just like your feet are just getting bruised, but you can stand
Is it
up
like
and
a-
like go behind the boat.
Is it a points thing, like who does the best tricks, or is it like a longevity thing?
I think
Who
it would be
can
like a
stay up the longest?
slalom. It would be like a
A
slalom
race?
thing.
Like a
Oh, a race would be kind of cool. But then it just comes down to like whose boat is the fastest,
faster
right?
boat.
Yeah.
But also, who's got the strongest feet?
I guess that is true, but it would be, I don't know. I think some kind of water sport like wakeboarding, because obviously with surfing,
Freestyle,
skateboarding,
though. Freestyle.
karate, like they're doing more extreme sports. Like wakeboarding kind of had its era in like the mid 2000s. It would be kind of cool to see a resurgence of wakeboarding in the Olympics, but it seems like the Olympics are pretty late on like surfing, skateboarding, all this stuff. So it's probably a
That's why we have the
long
X
time.
Games, dude. Because we all watch the X Games.
That's very true. Young Lunk said that The Rock has technically never retired from wrestling so that he could still be an athlete.
There we go.
That is true. That is very true. So in other Olympic news, obviously those are the incredible sports we would like to see. So, oh shit. So I just saw this. If we wanted one of these sports to be added, so like slam ball, mud wrestling, beer shotgunning, barefooting, or paintball, the basic requirements for a sport to be Olympic are as follows. It must have a men's federation in at least 75 countries. Men's, that seems a little misogynistic, but it must have a men's federation in at least 75 countries on 4 continents and a women's federation in 40 countries on 3 continents. Very interesting. It says, in addition to the country organizing the games, may propose that the sport be included or removed depending on their strength in the games or on the climatic or economic conditions. Finally, the IOC votes on whether they are accepted or not. So I think every sport we said is in.
Yeah, mud wrestling's definitely going.
Definitely. Absolutely. There's plenty of federations. Mud wrestling, slam ball. I mean, slam ball is already on 2 continents and is sure to be on multiple by the end.
You know what the other one they should do is the slap competitions.
Oh my God, yes.
Face
Yeah.
slap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Slap?
That is a great
Ass slap.
idea.
That's also an alternative.
The what?
There's the face slap competition, and there's the ass slap competition.
Oh, I didn't know there was an ass slap. Whoa. I mean, fuck it. Let's
Yeah.
just get twerking in too. Why not?
Let's bring it all around. yeah.
That actually might be what dance sport is. Dance sport could be maybe like a little twerking, like
Close
depending
enough.
on the category of dance sport. But yeah, so obviously we're hyped for the Olympics. Did you guys see Sha'Carri Richardson just dominate the 100-meter earlier this week?
Did, yeah.
Dominated.
With all the swag.
Yeah, all the
All the
swag.
swag.
I love it.
She
I
was
love
like,
it.
"I'm that girl." I loved that. I love her now. She immediately when she was done,
Right.
she like sprinted up to go see her grandma in the suite at Hayward Field, which is looking beautiful, by the way, Skoducks. But It was just, she's a family girl. I found out, I don't know if you guys saw this too, her biological mother had passed away a week before the race, and she still showed up, kicked ass. So shout out to that girl. I can't wait to support her in Tokyo. And all the commentators are basically saying that no woman has run like this in the last 25, 30 years for the U.S. So she is like the gem of USA track and field for the ladies right now.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah, I'm hyped. Obviously, we have USA men's basketball, which the full lineup has been officially released.
Yep, today. Yep.
Yeah, we have, Chris Paul, Katie, James Harden, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Bam Adebayo, Chris Middleton, Kevin Love, and others. There's others that aren't even listed here, but that team is, I'm stoked. I think they're going to crush it. It doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't feel as powerful as some of the previous teams. But when you look at all of them, like, I think that's a good unit.
All together, man.
Yeah.
Also, KD, if KD, especially after these last playoffs, he's still got some gas in the tank, I think it's time for him to prove that he is in the argument for the greatest basketball player currently playing.
Yeah.
I think this would be a great showcase for him to do that with people like Dame and CP3 and all the other incredibly talented athletes that are also going to be on the team. But no De'Aaron Fox is my only thing. That made me sad.
Yeah, I was a little sad about that too. No Kings. And I wonder is it something that, like, are you asked to be a part of the team and you can, like, say yes or no? Or do you basically, like, write USA Basketball and say, I'm interested, would you like to have me? I don't know the process.
When you're at a certain tier, people ask you. I don't think you say, like, hey, yeah, I'll play. I think people would reach, like, De'Aaron Fox may have even gotten an invite if they didn't get all these motherfuckers to play, you know?
Yeah. That makes sense. All right, well, Olympics, once again, going to be sick. We're going to keep covering them. They're coming up soon here. They're going to creep up on us. Obviously, we're doing trials. People, there's been a bunch of swimming on, but I have not really paid attention to the swimming. I assume America's going to have some strong showing. I have no clue.
We'll get that going soon.
Exactly. So have you guys been watching Formula One racing at all?
I have not been. Are you watching it on Netflix or for real?
So I started watching it on Netflix. Like, I watched the first 2 seasons like a year ago, and then the new season came out relatively recently. So I watched that, and then I got super hyped up again, and I've started recording and watching all the races. It's kind of nice to just wake up on Sunday and have something to watch. Like, it kind of feels like football, where I can wake up early and I know that there's going to be, like, a fun event to watch in the morning. So I don't know. It was a great race this weekend. I can blast through this real quick because I'm probably the only one here that really cares about it. But so Max Verstappen, who races for Red Bull, ended up passing the GOAT Lewis Hamilton in, like, the 49th of the 52 lap to win the French Grand Prix. Red Bull got 2 drivers on the podium, so they're actually now leading the championship, which this is actually the closest season in the last, like, 8 seasons, because Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes have just been dominating the competition for the last 8 years. So it's kind of fun. So if you want to get into it, now is the time, because it's actually competitive. It's not just Lewis Hamilton dominating and destroying everybody. And the cool thing is, so Red Bull's car is a lot faster on the straights, so that's kind of where they won this race. They also ended up taking 2 pit stops instead of 1. So the Mercedes cars only took 1. They had old shitty tires, and they were trying to hold off Red Bull, just couldn't make it happen. And actually, one of the Mercedes drivers, Valtteri Bottas, who is Lewis Hamilton's teammate, got super pissed at the Mercedes team, and they actually played the radio live on the feed. They bleep out the words, but he said, why don't you guys listen to me when I tell you it's going to be a fucking 2-stop race? Fucking hell. He was livid. And so Mercedes is just falling apart, crumbling. So the drama is very real in F1 right now. So if you want to get into it, check it out. There's 2 races over the next 2 weekends. I think there's actually a doubleheader this weekend. So it's getting fun, man. It's getting fun.
Maybe we should get into it.
You
know what else we should get into? If you want something to look forward to on Sundays that also has a lot of drama, is the Bachelorette.
Hey.
All right, yeah.
All right, dude.
Matt, make your case. Make your case why I should start watching the Bachelorette.
You have the floor. You have the floor.
Yeah, it's all you, Doug.
All right. All right. So my girlfriend was like, "Hey, you want to watch the Bachelorette?" I was like, "Yeah, like sure. I've watched The Bachelor here and there. It's good. Like everybody has that vice of like we're all too good for raunchy television, but then we all love raunchy television.
You mean bad television, but okay.
No, garbage.
Yeah, raunchy, garbage. Yeah, it's
Trash.
trash.
It's got a special
Trash.
place in my heart,
Trash.
dude. Special place in
It
my
does.
heart.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. The season's really good. There's a lot of dudes, and I think it'd just be fun as a podcast if we all talk shit about them for just a little bit.
So how about this? So for the
it brings out the worst in you.
Oh, I'm sure it does. So for the people listening that also do watch The Bachelor, give us your hot takes on the first 3 episodes.
It's too soon to tell. I'm still forming my opinions.
Okay.
On I don't know. I think there's a lot of good drama. Cody got kicked out of the house because
What
he
an
was
idiot.
Fucking Cody.
his just intentions weren't pure. Because look, dude, Katie is here for an engagement. She's not here to fuck around. This is her life. Okay. And Cody
Is Grody.
Cody is grody, and he got kicked off. And another guy, Carl, came up to her and was like, some other guys here, like their intentions aren't pure either. And then she called them out, and they're like, "Why did you say that? You just started shit." And he got kicked off too. So
Ooh.
it's been good. It's been good. It's starting to heat up. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys will be into it.
So the drama starter. You can't be the drama
Yeah.
starter, or else it's like
Exactly,
you're the
yeah,
one
then you're
causing
like-
shit, you dude.
And then the house collectively decided, like, that guy just made that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally lying.
I'm down,
but,
man.
but the thing is, like, each episode, you're kind of like, I think I like that guy. We haven't heard much from him. And then the next episode, they spotlight him, and you're like, ooh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Didn't need to.
It sounds like a fun emotional roller coaster, and I'm down to strap in.
It is very
and
fun.
Go along for the ride, because
If you're into some just trash television, for sure.
oh, dude, I mean, I've watched countless
Who
hours
isn't?
of 90 Day
Who isn't?
Fiance, so I'm not one
Yeah.
to talk, man. It is garbage television is incredible.
I watched Bret Michaels' Rock of Love, okay?
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on Rock of Love, Flavor of Love, what the New York Love. Oh, dude, oh my God, they're all
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
fucking good. They're all so good.
So I'll get into F1 if you guys get into Bachelorette.
All right, I'll make that
And we'll talk about
virtual
both.
handshake, dude. I'm down.
When
I'm down.
two universes collide, it's like Jay-Z and Linkin Park.
me next
Well,
Legendary
fucking A, boys. All right, so that's our homework for next week is Bachelor. So what I might do, I might just listen to a couple podcasts and catch up on the last few episodes,
Yeah.
and then hop in fresh next week, formulate some opinions, and we'll do a little Bachelor segment next week. I think that could be actually really fun.
I might just watch a YouTube video that tells me what happened in the last episode. and
There you go.
No, you're gonna enjoy it.
All right, we'll see.
Just watch it.
I'll get F1 and The Bachelorette on at the same time so I can do my homework all together.
There we go.
There you go.
Hey, we got some fun Sundays coming up, boys.
All right.
And then by the time that's all over, dun 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 dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
That's when we'll heat up. We'll be hitting our stride by then.
Oh yeah, we'll be fucking galloping by then.
Yeah, dude.
All right, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, it's been a hell of a week in
Hey.
sports.
We'll get John back next week. We miss you and love you, John.
Absolutely.
Not the
Dude,
same without you.
Not the
It's
same
not.
without you.
I hope your teeth are purple and you're having a great time out there in Napa, my friend. So, everybody that's tuned in, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on this beautiful Wednesday evening.
Please follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes. Listen to us in all forms. Share it with your friends. We still are sitting on 2 listens in Georgia, all the rest in California when it comes to the podcast. We're trying to diversify.
Absolutely.
Send us around.
And if you haven't, go ahead and hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. Like Tom said,
Subscribe.
let your buddies know. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to give us money yet, but
Subscribe
at
on
least
YouTube,
follow
that's
us.
free.
Oh yeah,
It's free
subscribe
on
on YouTube. That is free.
That's free.
Give us a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, gets us in front of other people. So just support
And if you're-
support
if
us, and we'll support you.
If you live in a different country and you want us to wish your grandmother happy birthday, we will do that.
We
will
will
do that.
absolutely do that.
We will do that on the pod.
We will go on
Just
Google
ask.
Translate and we will read the basic ass, like horribly translated, whatever it is, but we will read it and just let us know. We're basically we will do
Absolutely.
free cameos. Just let us know. Just
Free
let us know.
cameos, exactly.
All right.
Very
Well,
exciting.
once again, everybody, thank you so much. We'll see you guys all next week.
Thank you.
We'll let you know. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and we'll let you know when we'll be live next week. probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Later, everybody.
Peace out,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.